Hello, everyone. Welcome to the talk of multimodal large language model. I'm Guanyu Huang from University of Sheffield. You may have attended our previous talks. If you just know about talk on MLLM, let me briefly introduce what it is. So the first M represents multimodality, which enriches the use and development of large language model in combination of text, image, audio, video, and so on. The M can also represent multidiscipline that goes beyond text generation. For example, large language model is applied in finance, law, and image generation areas. Finally, M also provides multi-perspectives to study social behaviors. So the talk on MLLM started on 1st July 2023. Today, it is our 7th talk. We have Kailai Yang from University of Manchester with us. Kailai obtained his Bachelor of Engineering degree in Computer Science and Technology from Harbin Institute of Technology, China. With the President's Doctoral Scholar Award, he is now a second-year PhD candidate at the University of Manchester and the National Center for Text Mining. His research mainly lies in natural language processing, with great interest in dialogue systems, especially the latest development in large language models. Today, Kailai is going to give us a talk titled Towards Interpretable Mental Health Analysis with Large Language Models. The talk will be recorded and shared in our group WeChat. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat box. We will discuss them in the question and answer session after the talk. Of course, you can also unmute yourself in the question and answer session after Kailai's talk. Now, without further ado, I will give the floor to Kailai Yang.
Okay, thank you very much, Guanyu, for the introduction. Could you stop sharing the screen so I may share mine?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so can you see my slides now?
Yes, I can see it clearly.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this talk. My name is Kailai Yang. I'm a second-year PhD student from the University of Manchester. And today I'm going to talk about some of my recent works in interpretable mental health analysis with large language models. So, as we all know, mental health-related issues are posing increasing threats to public health worldwide. According to the recent survey of WHO about the global prevalence of mental disorders, by May 2021, there are about 5% of world adult populations who is suffering from symptoms of depression. And except common mental health issues such as depression, there are also different types of mental disorders, such as anxiety, bipolar disorder, and PTSD, which also pose very serious threats to our mental health. For example, there are about 28% of world populations who is suffering from symptoms of anxieties. However, though there are many patients with potential mental health issues, they often fail to receive timely treatment, mainly because of two reasons. Firstly, there could lack social awareness in mental health issues. Secondly, these patients may suffer from stigma, which prevents them from seeking timely clinical aids. With the development of modern web technology, social media has become an integral part of people's daily lives. And people with potential mental health issues also tend to post their feelings such as stress or anxieties on social media platforms, which makes social media texts a rich source for mental health analysis and potential early intervention. However, due to the explosive amounts of social media posts, manual analysis of these social media texts becomes impossible, which drives us to explore automatic mental health analysis methods. And this automatic mental health analysis methods are mainly based on NLP techniques and the recent deep learning-based method. In automatic mental health analysis, previous methods mainly model these tasks as text classification tasks. For example, for depression detection, it's mostly modeled as a binary classification task, which aims to identify whether the symptoms of depression exists in a certain post. And due to this discriminating nature, the previous pre-trained language models, such as BERT and Ruberta, have achieved outstanding performance. And the state-of-the-art model in this line of work is MentaLLaMA, which pre-trains a BERT-like language model from scratch with large-scale pre-training data mainly collected from several relevant subreddits from the forum called Reddit, such as the depression and suicide watch and anxiety subreddits. And it collected totally about 30 million sentences for pre-training the MentaLLaMA model. And after the pre-training, it continues to fine-tune the pre-trained MentaLLaMA models in downstream mental health analysis tasks such as depression detection, or stress detection in a rather small group of data sets to further improve the performance of the MentaLLaMA on the certain mental health analysis tasks. Though these discriminative based methods achieves outstanding performance, they also have some crucial limitations. The most urgent one is that discriminative deep learning based methods, they make predictions in a black box manner, which means they only offer the predictions without offering any rationales or explanations behind their decisions. While mental health analysis is a sensitive topic where each diagnosis made requires convincing reasons, and their low interpretability of these discriminating methods significantly limits their practical use. And the previous methods are also aware of these limitations and provided some solutions. And I'll introduce three here: the knowledge infusion-based methods, the cause detection-based methods, and some other methods which try to combine other useful information. For knowledge infusion methods, we give an example here, which explicitly introduce common sense knowledge to model mental states of the speakers. Specifically, this method introduces mental state knowledge from a generative knowledge source called Comet, and uses another knowledge-aware mentalization module based on dot product attention and GRU to infuse this extracted knowledge into the poster representations. Finally, these enhanced representations are used for stress and depression detection. And their experimental results show that this knowledge infusion process not only improves the performance of stress and depression detection, but also offers some clues or insights into the decision process via the mental state knowledge more attended during the inference process. And the second line work is the cause detection-based methods. This line work build datasets to train models to identify the cause behind the mental health conditions. For example, this work here built a dataset called SAD to identify stress factors in SMS-like messages. And it categorizes the cause of stress into several predefined categories such as work, school, and financial problems. And another representative work is this CAMS dataset, which is built for causal analysis of mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety. And this dataset categorizes the causes into bias and abuse, jobs and career, or medications, and so on. The third line work tries to infuse other useful informations. For example, this work here, it introduces a PHQ-9 descriptive information. The PHQ-9 is a questionnaire very widely used in psychology to identify symptoms of depression. It categorizes the symptoms of depression into 9 symptoms as listed here, such as lack of interest, feeling down, or sleeping disorders. And corresponding to each symptom, it gives a question in the questionnaire. For example, for the lack of interest, they ask the patient's little interest or pleasure in doing things. And this work here, it designs as a cross-attention modules to try to combine these PHQ-9 informations during the depression detection process. And in this work, they also displayed the top 10 words associated with each corresponding depression symptoms and top 5 diagrams. These words and diagrams are extracted from the cross-attention weights during the inference process. And according to this display in this table, the top 10 words and top 5 diagrams are mostly associated with the corresponding symptoms. For example, lack of interest may, the model may focus more on have motivation or don't care, and some phrases like that. And these interpretability and these diagrams and words can give us some insights into the decision process for the models. Though these previous works have provided some kind of improvement to interpretability, they didn't provide many explicit reasons behind their decisions. And with the recent popularity of large language models, which have proved to exhibit a strong general language processing ability in tasks such as text generation and language understanding, it is also natural for us to explore large language models for mental health analysis. And here we list the 2 pioneering works in this set, which they most evaluated the popular large language models such as ChatGPT on some vanilla mental health detection tasks such as stress detection and depression detection or suicide detection. Though these works provided some insights into the mental health analysis ability of large language models, they also have some key limitations. The first limitation is that mental health analysis is a safe critical task. However, these models, they only tested on a few binary mental health condition detection tasks and ignores more important tasks, such as we mentioned, the cause detection tasks of mental health disorders. And the second, and they also lack the explorations in the potential of large language models' explainability on these detection results. And another limitation is that these works, they mostly use simple prompts to detect mental health conditions, but they ignore the more advanced prompting strategies such as few-shot prompts, chain-of-thought prompts, and prompts enhanced with other useful information, such as emotional information, which has been proven very useful for mental health detection process. Based on these limitations, we perform a comprehensive exploration and evaluation of the ability and explainability of large language models on mental health analysis, which leads to the first work I will introduce today. And this paper is based on 3 research questions. The first one is, how well can large language models perform in generalized mental health analysis with a zero-shot or few-shot setting? And the second research question is, how do different prompting strategies and emotional cues impact the mental health analysis ability of ChatGPT? And the third research question is, how well can ChatGPT generate explanations for its decisions on mental health analysis? Based on these research questions, we propose this method pipeline. Firstly, we carefully design more advanced prompts to try to probe large language models for various mental health analysis tasks. For example, here we give an example of our carefully designed emotion-enhanced chain-of-thought prompt. And with this prompt, we probe large language models to obtain responses, which we expect to contain 2 parts. The first part is the prediction or classification results For example, for the binary classification task, we expect a yes or no response. And we also expect a detailed explanations or rationales given by large language models, which can support this decision or prediction results. And the third step, with these large language model responses, we carefully design human evaluation criteria by domain experts to try to perform human ratings for these large language model generated explanations. And finally, with the human rated golden ratings and the targeted responses or explanations from large language models and the post references from the original datasets, we aim to benchmark existing automatic evaluation metrics such as BART score on automatically evaluating the quality of the generated explanations to try to inspire future works in this area. First, we introduced our methods of using in-context learning as an explainable mental health analyzer. We tested three series of large language models. The first one is a LLaMA models, which is a open source large language model series released by MentaLLaMA. And the second is the InstructGPT-4 models, which are further enhanced based on GPT-3 with instruction tuning. And we select the 20 billion edition of InstructGPT-3. And the third one is ChatGPT, which is based on the InstructGPT-3 models, but further enhanced with high-quality instruction tuning and reinforcement learning from human feedback. And we also designed different prompting strategies. Firstly, we designed the zero-shot prompts which directly ask for a classification result. And we also designed different emotion-enhanced prompting strategies. Firstly, we designed an emotion-enhanced chain of thought prompting strategy, which includes a chain of thought instructions in a natural language format and combined into the zero-shot prompts. We also further design an emotion instruction, which guides the models to consider emotion information during making decisions for mental health analysis, and insert this emotion-enhanced instructions into the prompts. And the second one is the supervised emotion-enhanced prompting strategies, which we extract sentiment or emotion labels from existing sentiment lexicons for each post, and combine these sentiment or emotion labels into the zero-shot prompts in a natural language format. And the last one is the few-shot emotion-enhanced prompts, which is based on the emotion-enhanced chain of thought prompts, but further enhanced with few-shot examples developed by domain experts. And here are some examples of the three different kinds of example prompts. And here is the overall performance of our Manila test. Firstly, if we look at the supervised discriminative-based methods, we see that the state-of-the-art discriminative methods such as MentaLLaMA and MentaLLaMA still achieves outstanding performance on most of the datasets, which proves their effectiveness. And for zero-shot large language model-based methods, we see that both the LLaMA models and InstructGPT-3 models performs badly on most of the datasets in a zero-shot setting. However, for ChatGPT, we can see that it performs moderately well on some of the datasets and shows some levels of generalizability to different mental health tasks in a zero-shot manner. And for the emotion-enhanced chain of thought large language model-based methods, the first three is the supervised emotion-enhanced methods. But surprisingly, we find that these methods doesn't outperform zero-shot results of ChatGPT very much on most of the datasets. We believe a possible reason is that a very simple sentiment or emotion labels cannot represent the emotions of a very complex post well. And adding the chain of thought instruction itself also doesn't improve performance much. But with the emotion-enhanced chain of thought prompts, ChatGPT is able to outperform its zero-shot results on most of the data sets, which shows the effectiveness of a emotion-guided channel sort prompt in mental health analysis. And finally, with few-shot examples, ChatGPT is able to outperform all other large language model-based methods on all data sets, which shows that the carefully written few-shot examples is able to calibrate the decision boundaries for ChatGPT on these very subjective mental health analysis tasks. And besides the performance, we'll also perform a human evaluations for the generated explanations. And we tested on two models, ChatGPT and InstructGPT-3. And we are based on the task of depression detection. And we developed an annotation protocol with collaborative efforts with two domain experts who are all PhD students majoring in quantitative psychology. And we set the ratings from 0 to 3, where 3 denotes approaching human performance. And during the annotation process, we invite 3 PhD students as annotators, and each explanation is assigned a score by 3 annotators, and followed by the examination of 1 domain expert. And for the number of examples, we select 121 posts that are correctly classified by both ChatGPT and InstructGPT-3. And we'll also select another 42 posts that are incorrectly classified by ChatGPT. And we denote the correctly classified states of ChatGPT as ChatGPT-2 and the falsely classified categories as ChatGPT-4s. And for the annotation schemes, we mostly focus on 4 aspects. The first one is fluency, which measures the coherence and readability. And the second one is reliability, which measures the trustworthiness of the generated explanations to support the detection results. The third one is completeness, which measures how well the explanations cover all relevant aspects of the original post. And the final overall score combines all of the 3 aspects to give an overall ratings of explanations. And here are the results for human evaluations. In the top table, it presents a flex kappa and other statistics of human evaluations. And notably, for the ChatGPT-4 categories, we find a much longer average token numbers than the ChatGPT-2 categories, which shows that ChatGPT is able to capture the mental health related information in short posts rather than longer posts. And the further agreement rates and the flex kappa results shows the reliability of the human annotations. And in the box plots below shows the aggregated human evaluation scores for each aspect. And according to the results, the ChatGPT-2 categories is able to achieve very high scores on all 4 aspects, while for InstructGPT-3, it achieves much lower scores on all 4 aspects. This result shows that ChatGPT is able to generate very reliable and high-quality explanations for its decisions, while InstructGPT-3 models fails to do so for most of its decisions. And though human evaluations is very reliable, they are hard to be extended to large-scale datasets because it requires very huge human efforts. Therefore, we also benchmark existing automatic evaluation metrics on our human annotated corpus. And we also evaluated the same aspects of fluency, reliability, and completeness. And we benchmarked these very commonly used test metrics for text generation tasks, such as BLUE, ROGE, and GPT-3 score. According to the results for the ChatGPT-2 categories, the bot score is able to achieve the best performance on all 4, or the best Pearson's correlation coefficients on all 4 aspects. And the results shows that on all 4 aspects, BART score achieves at least a moderate correlation with human annotations. However, on the ChatGPT-4's categories, there is not a single metric that is able to achieve satisfactory performance on all 4 aspects. And this results also shows some future directions for developing automatic evaluation metrics for mental health analysis. And during these experiments, we also find some other limitations. The first one is the unstable prediction problem. We find that ChatGPT's performance can vary drastically with the change of a few keywords in the prompt. For example, we replace the adjective describing the mental health condition with different degrees in the zero-shot prompts and get these testing results. As shown, we changes the adjective from adding to some to very severe, and the test results on these 3 datasets vary drastically with the change of these adjectives and achieves a very high variance. We believe the possible reason is that is the subjective nature of some mental health analysis tasks. Therefore, we try to explore in-context learning to alleviate this unstable prediction problem. We leverage the expert written few-shot prompts, the same prompts we used before, into these zero-shot prompts and see if the performance improves with few-shot examples. And here is the testing results. And according to the results with the few-shot examples, the disturbance of the model performance with the change of these adjectives decreases significantly. For example, for the Reddit dataset, the variance decreases from 89 to about 31. And these results shows that in-context learning can be a very effective solutions for stable predictions. Another problem is the inaccurate reasoning problems. We find that ChatGPT's inaccurate reasoning is strongly correlated to the incorrect prediction results. To support this claim, we also did some experiments to compare between the correctly and incorrect classified results of ChatGPT. And according to these box plots here, though ChatGPT-4's categories can achieve very similar fluency scores with the ChatGPT-2 categories, it achieves much lower scores in both reliability and completeness compared to the 2 categories of ChatGPT. We believe there are many 2 reasons. The first reason for the completeness, as we have mentioned, the ChatGPT-4's categories have much longer average token numbers than the ChatGPT-2 categories. This could show that ChatGPT still struggles to cover all relevant aspects of these long context posts. And for the reliability, we believe one reason could be ChatGPT still lack mental health related knowledge. Another possible reason could be ChatGPT have this mental health related knowledge, but still lacks alignment to the mental health analysis tasks. And when it comes to alignment, a very natural solution is to fine-tune the large language models with mental health related instruction tuning data. Now we briefly summarize the previous presented contents, which we introduced our efforts in exploring context learning of large language models for mental health analysis. And we also find that large language models still struggle to achieve comparable performance to state-of-the-art supervised discriminative methods. And we also find the inaccurate reasoning problem, which means the low precision can significantly affect the quality of the generated explanations. And we also proposed a possible solution, which is domain-specific fine-tuning. However, domain-specific fine-tuning can also have 2 key challenges. The first one is the lack of high-quality fine-tuning data. In mental health analysis, this is especially a problem because of sensitivity of the topic and the lack of especially the high-quality explanations. And the second challenge is there is currently no open source large language models for interpretable mental health analysis, which are released for public use. and can be used to lower the fine-tuning cost. As we all know, fine-tuning large language models can be very costly in computational resources. Therefore, based on these limitations, we propose MentaLLaMA. And this is the second work I'm going to introduce today. And this work mainly have four contributions. The first one is that we formalize the interpretable mental health analysis task. And the second contribution is we propose the first multitask and multi-source interpretable mental health instruction dataset, which is also known as the IMHI dataset, with 105K data samples to support the large language model instruction tool. Thirdly, based on the IMHI dataset, we propose MentaLLaMA, the free open source large language model series for interpretable mental health analysis tasks, which also have the instruction following capability. And finally, we propose the first holistic evaluation benchmark for interpretable mental health analysis. And it consists of 19K test samples and covers 8 tasks and 10 test sets. First, we briefly introduce our task formalization. Instead of modeling mental health analysis as a discriminative task as the previous methods, we model mental health analysis as a generative task. So it naturally requires a generative model, such as the autoregressive language model here, parameter mask phi here. We hope to adapt this autoregressive language model to simultaneously solve n tasks related to mental health instead of fine-tuning on downstream tasks one by one. And we hope, collect for each task T, we collect a subset of NT training context target pairs, which are formalized here, where Q is a token sequence containing the target post and the query. And R is another sequence consisting of the answer to the query and the rationale for the decision making in natural language format. And finally, we merge the subset of each task and mix them into one training data set and optimize the model on this data. Now it comes to the construction process of the IMHI dataset. Firstly, the raw data collection. We collect the raw data from 10 existing mental health analysis datasets, such as the Reddit, CRP, and SWMH. And these 10 datasets covers 8 different mental health analysis tasks, such as depression detection, mental disorder detection, and stress cause detection. And these data are from different data sources, such as Reddit, Twitter, and SMS-like messages. And most of these data sets consists of very reliable human annotations for mental health detection. But some of the data sets, such as DR and SWMH, they only contain weak supervisions, weakly supervised labels obtained from, for example, from the subreddits titles of the Reddit posts. And the second step is to obtain high-quality explanations. As we mentioned, existing research lacks especially these high-quality explanations. And we also proved in last work that ChatGPT is able to generate high-quality explanations for these samples in your future learning setting. Therefore, we also leverage ChatGPT to generate these high-quality explanations. And here is an example of the prompt we used. It mainly consists of 3 parts. The first part is the task-specific instruction, which are related to the specific task. And the second one is the expert written examples, which we invite our domain experts to write a few golden explanations for each of the tasks. And the third part is the query for the target post. And notably, in the query for the target post part, we combine the assigned labels collected from the raw data in this part to try to prevent this inaccurate reasoning problem we mentioned in last work. And except this ChatGPT generated explanation set, we also invite the domain experts to write a golden explanation set with about 350 samples, where 35 samples are sampled from each raw data set. And all our outputs have the following format, where the prediction labels and the corresponding explanations are separated by the reasoning symbols in the middle. Now, we need to perform a very comprehensive evaluation of the quality of the explanations to try to guarantee their qualities to be used as training dataset. Due to the large scale of this generated data, we first perform automatic evaluations on 3 aspects. The first aspect is correctness, which we try to examine whether the explanations can make correct label predictions in the responding mental health analysis task. The second one is consistency, which we try to examine whether the explanations provide clues or analysis that are consistent with the predicted labels, which means the analysis or explanations should support their predicted labels instead of counteract with it. And the third one is quality, which means that the generated explanations should provide supportive evidence with high quality from the perspective of psychology. Firstly, for the correctness aspect, as we have mentioned, to prevent inaccurate reasoning, we have combined the assigned label included in the prompt. Our assumption is that the labels agreed by both ChatGPT and the original annotations should be considered correct. However, during the actual inference process, we do notice that ChatGPT can disagree with the assigned labels sometimes. Therefore, we provide the percentages where ChatGPT agrees with the assigned labels in this figure. And according to the results, ChatGPT is able to achieve over 90% of agreement percentage on most of the datasets, which proves the high level of correctness on most of the dataset. However, on some of the datasets, such as loneliness and T-SED, the agreement percentage are relatively low. We believe there are many 2 reasons. The first one is that some tasks, such as loneliness detection, are more subjective than other tasks, which makes the determination of the label more difficult. And the second reason is that some datasets, as we have mentioned, have only weakly supervised labels, which do not have that much high quality than the human annotations. An example here is the T-SED dataset. And in these cases where ChatGPT disagrees with the original annotations, we invite the domain experts to check them one by one and modify the corresponding predictions and the annotations. The second aspect is consistency. In consistency, we train a mental BERT-based classifiers to predict the label, given the explanations for each of the raw dataset. As we have mentioned, all of the generated explanation have this format, which makes the label and explanations very easily to be divided. And we train the mental BERT-based classifiers based on the explanations to predict the labels. The intuition behind this action is that we think training split pairs with higher consistency should be expected to supervise a more precise classifier. To test the precision of this trained classifier, we test these classifiers on the IMHI test split and the expert written golden set. And according to the results, on the IMHI test split, all of the mental BERT-based classifier is able to achieve at least 94% of weighted F1 scores. That's very high, and which proves the distribution of the consistency between the training and split pairs, training and test split of IMHI datasets is very stable. And for the expert written golden set, the classifiers are also able to achieve very high weighted F1 scores on most of the dataset. And notably, it achieves 100% weighted F1 results on 4 of the datasets, which shows their high precisions. And this result can be a very supportive evidence for the high consistency of the generated dataset. And finally is the quality. Based on our finding in last work, that ChatGPT is able to generate approaching human explanations with correct classification in a zero-shot manner. We also use the BART score to evaluate the explanations with different prompts. And we introduce 3 prompts. The first one is the with label prompts. This is exactly the prompt we used for the generating the IMHI dataset. And we remove the assigned labels to build the few shot prompts. And we also remove the assigned labels and few shot examples to build the zero-shot prompts. And we leverage these 3 prompts to probe the expert-generated golden set with 350 samples, and use the expert-written golden references as the metric for scoring. And here is the scoring results. According to the results, the with label outputs is able to achieve much higher BART score results than the zero-shot results on almost all datasets, which also proves the generated quality of the with label prompts. Except for this automatic evaluation, we will also perform human evaluations on 200 randomly sampled explanations from the IMHI training set. We further improve the annotation scheme, which focuses on these 4 aspects. Consistency, which we evaluate whether it has a coherent body of information. Reliability, that's the same for evaluating trustworthiness of the generated explanations. And professionality, which we examine the rationality of the generated explanations. And finally, an overall score to combine all 3 aspects. And this distribution of human evaluation scores further proves that the generated IMHI dataset is able to provide very high quality explanations on all these 4 aspects. The final step of building the IMHI dataset is the instruction construction, which we leverage the collected posts from the raw datasets and the carefully evaluated ChatGPT generated explanations to build the IMHI dataset. We simplify the instructions and construct the questions in a rule-based manner, where the templates are presented here. And we also noticed that some of the baseline language models we tested do not have the instruction following capability. Therefore, we also convert the IMHI data into a completion-based data set called IMHI completion using another set of templates. And the next step is the large language model training, which we based on the Llama 2 model series and the IMHI dataset. There are 3 sets of output models. The first one is the MentaLLaMA 7 billion models, which are based on the Llama 2 7 billion edition foundation models. And the second set is the MentaLLaMA chart models, which are based on the Llama 2 chart foundation model series, which is the first open source language model series enhanced with reinforcement learning from human feedback. And the third one is the MentaLLaMA 33 billion edition, which are based on the Vicuna 33 billion models, but tuned with LoRa, the PEFT training techniques due to the limitation of computational resources. And all these models are trained on 4 NVIDIA Tesla A100 GPUs, each with 80 gigabytes of memories. Now, we evaluate the performance of these models on correctness. Firstly, for the discriminative methods, we notice that the MentalBERT and MentalRoberta still achieves state-of-the-art results on many datasets. But their key limitations, as we mentioned, is the black box prediction manner, which cannot provide adding rationales or explanations. For the zero-shot, few-shot methods, the Llama model still performs badly. However, for the few-shot methods, which are tested on ChatGPT and GPT-4, these models is able to significantly outperform the ChatGPT zero-shot results, which further proves the effectiveness of in-context learning from few-shot examples. And the condition-based fine-tuning methods we tested on the previous small language models T5 and BART, and the latest large language models Llama 2. And according to the results, we surprisingly found that the Llama 2 models didn't outperform the much smaller T5 or BART models on most of the datasets. A possible reason could be that the completion-based fine-tuning may not be able to trigger the ability of Llama 2 models very well. To further evaluate this hypothesis, we further train the Llama 2 model on the instruction tuning dataset against the MentaLLaMA 7 billion edition models. And according to the results, the MentaLLaMA 7 billion is able to outperform the Llama 2 models on most of the datasets, which shows instruction tuning as a more effective way of triggering its abilities. And finally, the MentaLLaMA chart model is able to further outperform the MentaLLaMA models on most of the datasets, which shows that the Llama 2 chart models enhanced with high-quality instruction tuning and RLHF is also able to boost the performance for mental health analysis. And notably, the MentaLLaMA chart models is able to achieve comparable performance to the state-of-the-art discriminative methods such as MentalBERT and MentalRobota on most of the datasets, which proves their high ability in improving the correctness of mental health analysis. And the second step is to evaluate the quality of the generated explanations. And here are the results of the completion-based fine-tuning methods. And according to the results, the completion-based fine-tuning methods is able to significantly outperform the Llama 2 zero-shot results, which proves the effectiveness of these fine-tuning methods. However, the Llama 2 7 billion methods also doesn't outperform the T5 or BART models, which further proves that the completion-based fine-tuning can also cannot also improve or gives a very good performance for Llama 2 models on generation quality. And for the instruction tuning methods, the MentaLLaMA models also outperforms the zero-shot results, proving the effectiveness of instruction tuning methods. And the MentaLLaMA chart models further advances the performance of BART score on most of the datasets than the MentaLLaMA 7 billion edition models, which proves that the reinforcement learning from human feedback and high-quality instruction tuning on the foundation models can also boost the performance of, can also boost the quality of the generated explanations. And finally, the 13 billion edition is also to outperform the 7 billion edition on most of the datasets, which proves the effectiveness of model expansion on improving the quality of the generated explanations. And we also test these MentaLLaMA models on the 350 expert written golden set. And this time, since we have a expert written references, we compare the MentaLLaMA results with the few-shot results of ChatGPT and GPT-4. And according to the results, the MentaLLaMA models is able to achieve a comparable quality with the ChatGPT and GPT-4 on most of the datasets, which further proves the high quality of the generated explanations of MentaLLaMA models. And also interestingly, we find that GPT-4 does not show significant improvement in both correctness and generation quality over ChatGPT on these time-collected raw datasets. And finally, we test the generalizability of MentaLLaMA and other language models to unseen tasks in mental health domain. To test their ability, we exclude the data of 4 tasks from the IMHI training set and test on the test split of these 4 datasets. We exclude these 4 tasks, the 2 traditional tasks, stress detection and depression suicide cause detection. And we also exclude the only dataset that are collected from Twitter, which is a mental disorder detection dataset called TSET. And we also exclude a high-level mental health-related tasks called interpersonal risk factors detection, and the dataset is IRF. And without training on this data set, we test on the test split of the data sets to see their generalizability. Firstly, we look at the correctness. According to the results, our MentaLLaMA models is able to achieve comparable results or even much better results than ChatGPT zero-shot results on 3 of the 4 datasets, which proves the high generalizability of MentaLLaMA models on correctness. And for the quality of the generated explanations, when we compare MentaLLaMA with the previous smaller language models. And MentaLLaMA is able to achieve a much higher bar score results on all 4 excluded datasets, which shows that MentaLLaMA models can also better generalize to these unseen tasks and data sources corresponding to the generation quality of explanations. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much. And here is the project link of this MentaLLaMA project, where you can find both of the papers and more details of these of this project in this link. Thank you very much.
Can you hear me now, Kailai?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much for your talk. And now let's enter the question and answer session, as you said. So if any of our participants have any question, I saw somebody said fantastic in the chat. If you would like to ask Kailai yourself, you can unmute yourself and just ask Kailai verbally. That's fine. Maybe our participants need a few minutes to think about or to rephrase their questions.
Yeah, of course.
May I take the chance to ask you one question?
Yes, please.
Yes, because talking about mental health, I saw a lot of the data that they are for specific one type of mental health issues like anxiety or depressions. Sometimes I think people may have a cocktail of kind of emotions. They may feel lonely at a certain percentage or feel anxious at some other percentage or depressions. Is there a model or a way to detect the cocktail style of mental health issues?
Yes, actually, there have been many research works exploring the relations between emotions and mental health issues. Maybe I can point you to a recent survey, especially written for this connections between emotion information and mental health related classifications later.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. Yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen so I can see the chat. There's no question in the chat for the moment. Okay. Yeah. Boston, he put a message in the chat saying only text modality, some work about multimodal large model for mental health. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe FOSTing means to combine the text analysis with other modalities such as speech analysis with mental health.
Yes, I'll answer the first question from FOSTing.
Yeah.
Because mental health analysis is a very sensitive topic, which we cannot access many data that are open source on the web. So for now, to the best of my knowledge, the current mental health analysis detection systems are mostly based on text. But I think you're right. Maybe we can further extend this mental health related research on large language models to multimodal ones. But a key problem is the lack of data.
Can I understand it like the existing data set is mostly single modality?
Yes, mostly based on text, like from social media. But if you, because we focus on a more specific areas of mental health disorders detection. Actually, there are some other works in mental support dialogue systems. They are focused on more general mental health support dialogues, developing this kind of dialogue systems. Actually, in these areas, they have more data. But for now, all we see is mostly based on texts, and there haven't been many existing works in multimodal large language models or systems for mental health.
Yeah, great. Can I add 2 points to your answers? So say if you like to look for potential collaboration with multimodal stuff, I know in Sheffield we have speech and mental health research group. So the academic staff and students there, they mainly work with speech, as you said, but maybe there's a way for you to work together, text plus speech, maybe.
Yes, of course,
Yes.
that'd be great.
Yeah, another thing is you talk about the speech side, they use dialogue to help diagnose the mental health issues. Because the text analysis based on your presentation, I think they are mainly from the existing text. It is not like a chat bot. Then you analyze the replies from the users, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so because just a very random thought, now the ChatGPT is able to use speech to interact with users. Maybe that's a speech and the text. Maybe that's a potential channel to collect both the speech and the text information in an interactive way to
I
assist.
think the point here, in our concerns, the point here is not to provide like more supportive or human-like dialogues. It is to provide a more accurate and more professional explanations and diagnosis for certain mental health related issues. Because from our perspective, this system is more like designed for assistant for future psychologists or clinicians to help them determine or filter out the potential patients with mental health issues. Yeah.
Yes, I understand. That's something that the speech and the health care they do as well, the diagnosis part. Yeah. Anyway, so we can discuss maybe after the talk. I saw another question raised by Oscar Jiang, and sorry, I don't know your gender. Would you like to unmute yourself? You already unmuted yourself. Would you like to ask your questions verbally? Oh no. Okay, I'll read out your question. So Oscar's question is, what do you think are key steps before large language model to provide tailored mental health suggestions?
The key steps, I think, as I mentioned in the talk, of course, you have to in our human evaluations, we mentioned 4 aspects we consider most for the quality of the explanations. For example, we focus on, I think the most important part is professionality. It is to provide more rationale and more convincing evidence to support the diagnosis or potential detection of symptoms from the perspectives of psychology. And I think for the large language models to obtain this knowledge, it has to go through more learning process from more professional training data, and to gain this knowledge and to make its explanations or responses more professional and more helpful for the final diagnosis from a clinician or psychologist.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Any other questions? Yeah, So if you don't have any more questions, I'm just keeping an eye on the time. It's about the time to wrap up. So I will share my screen to show you what's gonna come next. Yeah. So in the next month, we are going to have a few more talks. So next week, we are going to have Xuana, who is with us at the moment. So she's going to give us a talk about emotional intelligence for large language models. There are other 3 talks already in the queue, so you can see from the slide. If you like to get the latest update of our talks, please feel free to follow us on our website, WeChat group, or Slack. We also have a WeChat official account, which was activated yesterday. So please feel free to scan the QR code and join us as well. And if you are an expert or you have some knowledge or experience of running social media and would like to help out, you are more than welcome to join us, join our volunteer organizer group to help organize the events with a talk on MLLM. Okay, so thank you very much. Thanks our speaker, Kailai, thank you so much. And
thank you, Gwen, for the wonderful host.
Thank you. So I wish everybody have a nice weekend. The recording of the talk will be shared with you in our social media channel on due course. Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.